What if the habit that is quietly draining your testosterone is something you do every night, right before bed, thinking it helps you relax? Gentlemen, if you are over 50 and you have noticed lower stamina, weaker erections, less drive, more belly fat, poor sleep, brain fog, or that strange feeling that your body just does not respond like it used to, I want you to listen very carefully. As a urologist, I have had this conversation with thousands of men, and many of them believed the same thing at first. They thought, this is just aging. This is normal. I have to live with it. But many times it is not just age. In fact, one of the biggest attacks on testosterone happens at night, during the very hours when your body is supposed to be repairing itself. This is when your brain resets, your hormones rebalance, your blood vessels recover, and your sexual health gets restored for the next day. If you keep disrupting that process, night after night, your body starts paying the price. And this goes far beyond intimacy. Low testosterone is linked to lower energy, poor muscle strength, worse mood, more fat gain, weaker metabolism, and even problems with heart health. Erections are not just about the penis. They are often a signal of how well your blood flow, hormones, nerves, and heart are working together. That is why this topic matters so much more than most men realize. The good news is this: your body is not trying to betray you. In many cases, it is reacting to habits that can be changed. So stay with me, because before this is over, I am going to reveal the hidden nighttime mistake most men never suspect until it starts hurting their testosterone, their erections, and their long-term health in ways they never saw coming. But here's what most men don't realize. The real damage often begins during the hours they call winding down. Gentlemen, I want you to picture a very common night. Dinner runs late. Maybe you sit in front of the television. Maybe you scroll on your phone. Maybe you answer one more message, watch one more video, pour one more drink, eat one more snack, and tell yourself you are finally relaxing. Then bedtime gets pushed later and later. You get into bed exhausted, but your mind is still awake. Your body is still working, and the very system that should be helping your testosterone recover never gets the chance. This is the first problem. Men think sleep is a switch. They think if they are lying down with their eyes closed, the job is done. But hormone recovery does not work like that. Testosterone depends on quality sleep, not just time in bed. Your body needs deep, uninterrupted sleep, and it needs it at the right time. If you delay sleep, overload your brain with stimulation, or keep your body busy digesting food, alcohol, stress, or late-night screen exposure, you block the repair window your hormones depend on. Think of your body like a repair garage. During the day, your system takes hits. Stress hormones rise. Blood sugar goes up and down. Your muscles work. Your blood vessels deal with pressure. Your nerves fire constantly. At night, the garage doors are supposed to close so the mechanics can get to work. Testosterone gets supported. Tissues recover. The nervous system calms down. But if you keep the lights on, the engines running, and new problems rolling in through the door every hour, that repair crew cannot do its job. And then men start noticing changes. They brush off. They wake up tired. Morning erections happen less often. Libido drops. Their penis does not respond the same way. Stamina falls. Motivation fades. Belly fat shows up around the waist and stays there. They become more irritable, less sharp, less confident. Workouts stop producing the same results. Even mood changes. But because the damage happens gradually, they blame age instead of their nightly routine. I have seen this again and again. A man says, "Doctor, I do not understand. I sleep 6 or 7 hours." But when we look closer, it is not real recovery. He is eating too late, drinking too late, staring at bright screens too late, or going to bed at wildly different times every night. His body never knows when to shut down and rebuild. It is like trying to fill a bucket with water while someone keeps punching holes in the bottom. This is especially important after 50 because your body becomes less forgiving. In your 20s, you could mistreat sleep and bounce back faster. After 50, your hormones, metabolism, blood vessels, and nerves all become more sensitive to poor recovery. That means nighttime habits that once seemed harmless now hit much harder. A late-night pattern can become a full-body problem. And gentlemen, I want to say this clearly. when you lose those morning erections, when desire feels dull, when energy feels flat, that is not always just about sex. It is often your body sending you an early warning. Like a check engine light on a car dashboard, it tells you something deeper is not running the way it should. The hopeful part is this: if the damage is coming from your routine, then your routine can also become your rescue. But before I tell you what to change, you need to understand why this matters far beyond intimacy. Because once you see that, you will never treat your nights the same way again. And that brings us to the next truth, one that surprises a lot of men. Low testosterone is not just a bedroom issue. It is often a whole body health signal. Mistake number 2 might surprise you, because the biggest danger is not that low testosterone hurts your sex life. The biggest danger is that it can quietly affect nearly every major system in your body. Gentlemen, many men only start paying attention when erections weaken. That is understandable. It is personal. It is emotional. It affects confidence. But as a doctor, I need you to see the bigger picture. Testosterone is not just the male hormone tied to the bedroom. It helps support muscle mass, bone strength, red blood cell production, motivation, mood, insulin sensitivity, fat distribution, and even the way your blood vessels function. When testosterone starts falling, the effects spread. A man begins gaining weight more easily, especially around the stomach. His energy crashes in the afternoon. He feels less interested in exercise. His mood gets flatter. He becomes more easily frustrated, less focused, less driven. He may sleep poorly and then crave more junk food the next day, which makes everything worse. It becomes a cycle. Low energy leads to worse habits lead to lower testosterone, and lower testosterone makes those habits harder to break. Think of testosterone like engine oil in a car. The car may still move when the oil is low, but every part starts working under more strain. Friction increases, performance drops, wear and tear speed up. In the male body, that friction shows up as fatigue, weight gain, slower recovery, weaker erections, less stamina, and more inflammation. The system still runs, but not smoothly. And here is something most men do not hear enough. Erections are a blood flow event. Yes, hormones matter. Yes, nerves matter. But at the core, an erection depends on healthy blood vessels opening up at the right time. If blood flow is weak, the penis often shows it early. That means erection problems can be one of the first visible signs that the vascular system is under stress. In some men, the penis gives the warning before the heart does. That is why I never dismiss erectile changes as just sexual. Sometimes it is the body whispering about circulation, metabolism, stress, sleep, or hormonal imbalance. And if you ignore the whisper long enough, it may become a louder health problem later. Low testosterone also affects body composition. Men with lower levels often carry more abdominal fat, and that fat is not passive. It acts like a chemical factory. It increases inflammation, worsens insulin resistance, and can encourage even lower testosterone. So now you have a vicious loop. Poor sleep leads to low testosterone. Low testosterone leads to more belly fat, and belly fat pushes testosterone down even further. Then there is the emotional side. Many men do not describe depression in the classic way. They say, "I just do not feel like myself. I have no spark. I am tired for no reason. I get irritated too quickly." That loss of fire, that loss of drive, is often part of the picture. And because men are taught to push through, many stay silent. They normalize it. They tell themselves this is what life looks like now. It does not have to. I am not telling you that every man with low testosterone has a major disease. I am telling you that nighttime habits can affect the systems that keep you strong, sharp, and sexually healthy. If your sleep is poor and your hormones are suffering, your whole body feels it. And there is one more thing. Men over 50 often start noticing more nighttime urination, more restless sleep, more sensitivity about their prostate health, and more concern about intimacy. These issues are not always directly caused by one single hormone, but testosterone, sleep quality, inflammation, and blood flow are all connected. When one part gets thrown off, the others often follow. So no, this is not just about desire. This is about how well your body is aging. And if you understood what your brain and hormones are trying to do while you sleep, you would never look at bedtime the same way again, because the science behind this is simpler than most people think, and once you hear it, the whole picture starts to make sense. Now let me show you what is really happening inside your body at night, because this is where everything begins to connect. Here's the science explained in a way every man can understand. Your testosterone does not just magically appear. It depends on a chain of signals, and that chain gets weaker when your nights are a mess. Gentlemen, think of your hormone system like a company with a boss, a manager, and a worker. Your brain is the boss. It sends signals to hormone centers that act like the manager. Those centers then send instructions to the testicles, which are the workers producing testosterone. If the boss sends a weak signal, the workers cannot do their job well. And one of the biggest things that affects that signal is sleep. Deep sleep is when your body handles some of its most important repair work. This is when stress hormones are supposed to come down, when tissues recover, when your system cools off, and when hormone rhythms stay in sync. If sleep is too short, too late, too broken, or too shallow, that signal chain gets disrupted. It is like trying to send an important message through a phone that keeps losing battery and dropping calls. Now let's connect that to erections, stamina, and blood flow. A healthy erection is not just about being in the mood. It is a hydraulic event. Imagine a garden hose. If water pressure is strong and the hose is open, water flows well. But if the pressure is weak, the hose is kinked, or the valve is faulty, the flow becomes poor. In the body, blood vessels are the hose. Nitric oxide helps open the valve, nerves control timing, and testosterone helps support the whole system. Nitric oxide is one of the key molecules that allows blood vessels to relax and open up. When that happens, blood can fill the penis properly. But poor sleep, high stress, excess alcohol, high blood sugar, and hormonal imbalance can interfere with that process. So even if a man wants an erection, the body may not respond the way it once did. It is not always a lack of desire. Sometimes the plumbing, the pressure, and the control system are all under strain at the same time. This is why low testosterone and poor sleep often travel together with weaker erections. It is not random. If your body spends the night under stress, instead of in repair mode, blood vessels do not recover as well, hormones do not reset properly, and the nervous system stays too activated. By morning, the system is already behind. And then there is cortisol, your main stress hormone. Cortisol is not evil, you need it. It helps you wake up and respond to challenges. But when cortisol stays high at the wrong time, especially late at night, it competes with the calm, restorative state your body needs for hormone balance. Think of it like trying to cool down an engine while the accelerator is still being pressed. The cooling fan cannot do its job if the heat keeps rising. Late-night habits push that heat up. Bright screens tell the brain it is still daytime. Heavy meals force the body to stay busy digesting. Alcohol may make you sleepy at first, but it often fragments sleep later. Stressful news, intense videos, work emails, arguments, nicotine, and overstimulation all keep the nervous system too alert. A man may say, "But doctor, I pass out fast." That is not the same as real, restorative sleep. And here's where men over 50 need to pay attention. As we age, we often become lighter sleepers. We are more vulnerable to nighttime disruptions. That means habits that shave off deep sleep can have a bigger hormonal impact than they used to. You may still spend 7 hours in bed, but if your sleep is broken into weak, shallow fragments, testosterone recovery suffers. This is why I tell men to stop thinking only in hours and start thinking in quality. It is the difference between plugging your phone into a strong charger all night versus a loose cord that disconnects every few minutes. In both cases, the phone is plugged in, but only one of them gives you a full battery. The hopeful part is this: your body wants to recover. It is built to recover. If you reduce the nighttime attacks on your hormone system, you can often improve energy, libido, morning erections, mood, and stamina faster than you think. So the question becomes simple: what should you actually do tonight to protect your testosterone instead of sabotaging it? Because the fix is not some magic powder or miracle pill. It starts with a smarter ritual in the last 2 hours of the day. And in the next part, I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. Now here is the hopeful part, gentlemen. You do not need to rebuild your whole life overnight. Sometimes the last 2 hours before bed are where the biggest turnaround begins. If you want to protect testosterone, improve sleep, support erections, and give your body a real chance to recover, your nighttime ritual matters more than most men think. Not because it has to be perfect, but because it has to stop working against you. Start with food. One of the biggest mistakes men make is eating a heavy meal too close to bedtime. A huge dinner late at night keeps the digestive system working hard when the body should be powering down. Instead of repairing hormones and calming the nervous system, your body is still processing a flood of calories, sugar, salt, and fat. That can raise body temperature, worsen reflux, disturb sleep, and make nighttime recovery weaker. You do not have to go to bed hungry, but you do want your body light enough to rest. A simpler, earlier dinner often helps more than men expect. Next comes alcohol. This one fools a lot of people. Men say, "Doctor, that drink helps me relax." And yes, alcohol can make you feel sleepy at first, but sedation is not the same as quality sleep. Many men fall asleep faster after drinking, then sleep more poorly later. Their sleep becomes fragmented. They wake more often. Their body misses deeper restorative stages. And if that happens often enough, testosterone pays the price. If you drink at night, reducing the amount and avoiding it close to bed can make a big difference. Then there is the phone. This may sound simple, but it matters. Bright screens at night tell the brain, stay awake. It is not time to shut down yet. Blue light interferes with the body's natural nighttime signals. And it is not just the light, it is the stimulation. News, arguments, videos, short clips, social media, financial stress, all of it keeps the mind activated. Your body cannot enter repair mode if your brain thinks it is still under attack. Think of your brain like a room with dimmer switches. At night, the lights should slowly lower. But when you use bright screens, emotional content, or stressful activity right before bed, it is like turning all the lights back on. Your body gets confused. The system stays alert. That is why I tell men to create a landing strip before sleep. The last hours should feel quieter, darker, and calmer. Dim the lights. Put the phone away. Avoid emotionally charged content. If you want to read, read something relaxing. If you need movement, take a short walk after dinner. If your mind runs fast, write down tomorrow's tasks so your brain stops carrying them into bed. Your bedroom matters too. Keep it cool, dark, and quiet. The body sleeps better when it senses safety and comfort. Think of it like storing medicine. If the environment is wrong, the medicine loses potency. In the same way, if the sleep environment is too hot, too bright, or too noisy, your recovery becomes weaker. Consistency matters as well. Going to bed at midnight one night, 9:30 the next, then 1:00 the next confuses the body clock. Your hormone system likes rhythm. It likes predictability. You do not need to live like a machine, but a steadier bedtime helps the body prepare for sleep instead of fighting it. And let me add something important. Do not underestimate the power of a short evening walk. It sounds almost too simple, but walking after dinner helps blood sugar, digestion, stress reduction, and sleep quality. For many men, that small habit becomes a turning point. It lowers the heat in the system before bedtime. The same goes for nicotine and overstimulation. If you smoke, vape, or use nicotine late in the evening, you are keeping the nervous system more activated. If you watch content that raises stress or excitement, you are doing the same. Your body cannot drift into repair mode while being constantly poked awake. Now, I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for awareness. A lighter dinner, less alcohol, fewer screens, a darker room, a more consistent bedtime, a calmer final hour. These changes sound small, but when repeated every night, they become powerful. Men often think they need a dramatic solution when the real answer is this: stop attacking your hormones every evening and let your body do the work it already knows how to do. But even after fixing these habits, many men still feel tired, still lose erections, still struggle with stamina, and still wonder why testosterone feels low. And that is where we come to the most shocking reveal of all. Because there is one nighttime problem that most men never suspect, and by the time they notice how serious it may already be affecting far more than their sleep. This last one is the hidden danger most men never realize until it is too late. Gentlemen, if you've been listening and thinking, I already cleaned up my dinner, I reduced the drinks, I go to bed earlier, and I still wake up exhausted, then I need you to hear me very carefully. The biggest nighttime mistake may not be what you do before bed. It may be what is happening to you after you fall asleep, and most men never suspect it. Do you snore loudly? Has anyone told you that you stop breathing in your sleep? Do you wake up with a dry mouth, a headache, or that heavy, foggy feeling even after spending enough hours in bed? Do you wake up several times a night to urinate? Do you feel drained in the morning, need naps in the day, or notice your erections are weaker for no clear reason? If so, the hidden problem may be sleep apnea. Now, I want to slow down here because this is where the stakes get serious. Sleep apnea is a condition where breathing repeatedly becomes blocked or reduced during sleep. A man may be in bed all night, but his oxygen drops, his sleep gets broken apart, and his body is constantly forced out of deep recovery. He may not remember waking up, but his system does. His heart does. His brain does. His hormones do. Think of it like charging your phone with a cable that keeps disconnecting every few minutes. The phone looks plugged in. It stays there all night. But by morning, the battery is never truly full. That is what sleep apnea does to the male body. The man thinks he slept, but his body never got the deep, uninterrupted repair time it needed. And this is where the reveal becomes so important. Many men chase testosterone supplements, libido boosters, and erection pills without ever realizing the real thief is poor nighttime breathing. They treat the symptom, but the cause keeps hammering away in the dark. Most men never realize this until it is too late, because sleep apnea does not just hurt energy, it can strain the heart, worsen blood pressure, increase inflammation, worsen blood sugar control, and absolutely interfere with hormonal balance and erectile function. Remember what I told you earlier. Erections are a blood flow event. If oxygen, sleep quality, vascular health, and hormone rhythms are all being disrupted night after night, the penis often feels the effects. Libido drops, morning erections disappear, stamina fades, the body feels older than it is. And the cruel part is this. Many men normalize it. They joke about snoring. They say, I have always slept like that. They brush off the tiredness. They blame their age. Meanwhile, the body is fighting for recovery every single night and losing. Now, let me be very clear. Not every man who snores has sleep apnea, but loud snoring, choking, gasping, daytime fatigue, high blood pressure, poor concentration, and persistent exhaustion are signs you should not ignore. If you have those symptoms, get evaluated. That one step could change everything. Because here is the hopeful side of the story. When men identify and treat the hidden breathing problem, they often start getting pieces of themselves back. Better sleep, better energy, better mood, sharper thinking, better blood pressure control, and yes, in many cases, better erections and stronger overall sexual function. Not because of magic, because the body is finally getting the oxygen, recovery, and hormonal rhythm it was missing. So this is the shocking truth. The nighttime habit hurting your testosterone may not only be staying up late, eating too much, drinking too much, or staring at a screen. It may be ignoring the warning signs that your sleep itself is broken. That is the hidden mistake. Not paying attention when the body is clearly struggling at night. Gentlemen, your body is not broken beyond repair. It is sending signals. Weaker erections, lower stamina, more belly fat, poor sleep, brain fog, low drive. These are not random failures. They are messages. And if you listen early, your body can often heal far more than you think. It is never too late. I have seen men in their 50s, 60s, even 70s improve their energy, protect their testosterone, sleep better, and regain confidence once they stop normalizing the habits and warning signs that were quietly damaging them. The male body is remarkably responsive when you finally give it what it needs. So tonight, take this seriously. Look at your evenings honestly. Look at your sleep honestly. Stop treating exhaustion like a badge of honor. Stop calling every symptom just aging. Protect your nights, and you protect far more than your hormones. You protect your heart, your blood flow, your mind, your prostate awareness, your stamina, and the part of yourself that still wants to feel strong and alive. If this message helped you, subscribe to the channel, and in the comments, tell me this: which of these habits do you struggle with most? Late meals, alcohol, screens, inconsistent sleep, or possible snoring and sleep apnea? I read those comments, and they help me know what men are really facing. And remember this, gentlemen, your body can heal. But first, you have to stop doing the things that quietly steal that healing in the dark.